Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today I'm going to show you how to use a detail brush. And this is going to really help improve our art. It's going to take your artwork from ordinary to extraordinary. First of all, when we use our detail brush, we want to be really careful that we don't damage any of the hairs. Because when you damage the hairs, you can't achieve beautiful thin lines. Okay? What it'll do is it'll smash up the hairs and make their hairs, if you look at my fingers, it'll spread them all out like that. And then you won't get that beautiful point. So that's essential that we take care of the brush. So when we use detail brushes, we stir gently into the water. Just going to remove some of this color here. And then we touch the edge of our dish. I can see I need a little bit more washing. We touch the edge of our dish. And then we stir gently into the colors that we'd like to use. So I'll just design something with this green for now. So I'm stirring in a circular motion, just gently, so that the color's on my tip of the brush, okay? We don't want the color all the way up here, just on the tip. And when we use the detail brush, we want to rest our hand. Let's turn this around so you can see some blank area. You want to rest your hand on your paper. And then our fingers are holding the brush just like our pencil, just like we would hold a pencil. And then I press the detail brush gently to the paper. And you can practice these on the back of your paper or at the top of your paper first. Press gently to get really tiny dots. And if we practice making really tiny dots, our hand is resting on our paper. And I'm just moving slowly my hand down to meet the paper. And the tip is just touching the paper. I lift up, press, lift up, press. And if you practice, you're making dots, real small dots. Let me show you up close. Press, lift up. Notice when I press, I'm not pressing the entire brush down. If you hold your brush straight up like a soldier, you're going to get really tiny dots. See that? It's a little bit harder for you to see when I hold it straight up though, because I'm at an angle, or it's not at an angle, so my hand is hiding the brush tip. But if you hold it straight up, you're going to get really tiny, tiny dots. And you want the dot to be the size of a pencil tip. Once you feel that you've been able to control that, then you can move on to the next step. So we're going to practice dots, and then we're going to go to the next step. Now that you've mastered the dots, then let's practice some lines. With the line, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to rest our hand on the page, and we're going to press the tip to the paper, except instead of just pressing the tip and lifting up, we're going to press and move our fingers. Okay, we can move them across the page like this. And actually my hand is moving with it, but I'm still resting my wrist on the table. Or I can go down vertically. So I can come across horizontal or go vertical. So I load up my brush. I don't want it to be too watery. I want it to be nice creamy paint. If it's too watery, when I press down, it'll just leave a big puddle. So now I'm going to practice pressing my tip. Again, my brush should be straight up like a soldier. I'm going to turn mine to the side so you can see it a little bit better. But yours should be straight up like a soldier, so the tip of the brush is facing your ceiling. And then I'm just going to move my fingers with the brush. My hand is resting, and I'm just going to slide my fingers down so I get a real skinny line. It's okay if it breaks, just leave it. Just practice doing just the tip going down the page. So that's a real skinny line. I have full brush control with this resting on the table. If I were to press more of the brush, watch what happens. Tip, press more, it gets a fatter line. See the difference? We don't want this fat line for today. Okay? We want to practice using just the tip of the brush to get skinny lines. So I'm controlling how far the brush presses down, and then I just move my hand. These are vertical lines. Now I'm going to try horizontal. So come across your page and move your wrist across the page. When you run out of paint, of course, load up more creamy paint. And then come across the page. And I kind of drag my hand, just drag it across. Press the tip down and just drag your hand. So I'm not moving my fingers, I'm just dragging my wrist. So we can practice doing horizontal lines. And then the next line we're going to practice is doing some wavy, skinny lines. So I can do it anywhere. If I want to do it diagonal, I can do it diagonal. But I want it to be thin. Again, remember, we don't want our lines to be thick. Now, you can check your work. Assess your work. If you take your pinky finger, is it almost as big as your pinky finger? If it is, your lines are too thick. If your lines are really skinny, almost like the pencil tip. Here's the tip of the pencil. Let's look at it. See that? If your lines are as skinny as the tip of a pencil, you've done it correctly. So you can check your own work. If you see that they're too fat, that's okay. Just practice and make them a little bit skinnier. So once you've practiced lines, I'm going to show you how you can use your detail brush to press patterns. So this is what we use here. With this, you could do flowers. You could use these for leaves or ferns. A lot of times we use these for feathers on birds. I'll show you some examples here from first grade. This is first grade students using detail brushes, and they've done feathers and some leaves and some flowers. Here's another one. I'm going to show you how to do this in a minute. Feathers. You've got the dots. Love this imagination. Look at these gorgeous plants using imaginative colors. Layering colors on top of each other. This is, again, 6 years old. These are beautiful flower pattern. And here we have a combination of a lot of techniques. The feathers, the fern leaves or plant leaves, and beautiful flowers, and fun patterns. So it makes these pictures using the detail brush from ordinary to extraordinary. So let me show you how to do these patterns. To do a flower, you're going to start with a dot. I'll just put a purple dot in the middle here. And then you want to do your petals of the flowers coming out from the center. So I'll just choose an orange for this one. You want it nice and creamy. And when you stir it around, you want to have the side of the brush with some paint on it as well as the tip. So I'm making sure I get it on my side. And to get the side, I kind of lay my brush flat once it's all creamy. The paint's nice and creamy. And I twist my brush into the color. Now, to do dots, you just simply use the tip. We know that. I can put some dots around the center if I want. And then, let me blow this up so you can see it better. Then what we do, instead of you doing the tip of the brush pressing, I bring my hand down and I use the whole paintbrush, the side of the paintbrush, and I just press the whole side to the paper and lift up. Notice I didn't do it this way and smash the brush. That's going to ruin the brush. I just tip my hand down. Then, this is important, you're going to have to turn the page, because if you move your arm around, it's a little bit harder to get the proper angle. So I press, lift up. I turn the page, find a dot, press, lift up. Turn the page, press, lift up. You turn the page until all of the petals are filled in. You can even turn your brush to the other side when you're starting to run out of paint. When you have it done all around, I'm going to add another color to it, or a little bit more paint. I need more paint on my brush here. I'm running out of paint. You can even do a smaller pattern by making a smaller petal in between. That can form fun patterns. You can even switch out colors too around your flowers. So I can have darker color, and then I can even have lighter flowers. So that's how you can use your flowers, decorate flowers. Here's a lighter color in between. And go around like so. To make your vines, you do your lines, your vine, or the stem of your plant, and then you can simply press the side of your brush, press to make leaves. And it makes very simple leaves on your plant. And you can switch out colors and give different values of leaves. I always encourage my kids to use different colors, not just one value of green. It makes your painting much more interesting. It turns it from ordinary to extraordinary. So this is a nice way to add variation to your pictures. Look how beautiful that is. That's gorgeous. So this is how you would use your detail brush. Now I'm going to let you have fun practicing your details. Here are some more student examples using the detail brush. You can see how we can do detail with the facial features, patterns. These are beautiful flower designs right here, using that detail brush with good brush control. And I want to thank everybody for watching the video and thanking my patrons for supporting the channel. If you would like to support the Art Lady channel, just click on the title. It'll take you to my Patreon account. And don't forget to hit the like button. All likes create activity and it benefits the channel. Thanks again for watching the Art Lady channel.